In these formative years as teenagers, we are not only heavily involved in academic learning, but also in learning about life in general. Not that we should, or ever will, stop learning, but these are the years where a tremendous amount of information is downloaded into our still developing brain and psyche. We've spent a good portion of our lives learning belief systems and life habits from our family. Good or bad, our perceptions have come from what we witness in the world around us and what we've been told. Our actions are a reflection of, or a reaction to, the lifestyle and experiences that have been handed to us. But all of this isn't who we are, and I learned that in a pretty unconventional way. I had always heard about how amazing Mr. Unelli was as a teacher from just about everyone that's had him. But he taught global economics and politics, and, well, I had no interest in learning about national income, inflation, and unemployment any earlier than I needed to. To be honest, I was a bit intimidated by it. After very few persuasive conversations, Mr. Unelli convinced me that I should take his class. I then spent the whole summer worrying about the fact that I was about to be in a history-related elective. I didn't even need to take this class. It was an elective, and now I was dragged into taking an entire year of it. I had no idea that being in his class would literally be life-changing, and I'm not sure it was in the way that Mr. Unelli's syllabus may have intended. The first major project in this class was the Know Thyself project. This is the project that probably had the biggest impact in shaping my personal ideas of life success. The objectives of this project, as stated in Mr. Unelli's instructions, were: 1, to help you question your fundamental beliefs and habits such that you will head off to college with the confidence you need in order to create your own unique identity. And 2, to assist you in achieving a sense of balance between economic and psychological development. The project was essentially to create a blueprint for achieving both financial and psychological independence. Writing the psychological piece of this essay turned out to be one of the most influential and awakening experiences I've ever put myself through. These instructions guided me through a surprising journey of self-awareness and a path to learning self-acceptance. Start with part 1. Question your fundamental beliefs and habits. Well, that was interesting. For all of my life, I have been living under the authority of my parents, teachers, etc. Here I was being asked to think, maybe for the first time, what are my beliefs? What do I think my life is about? And how should I go about living it? For example, my fundamental belief is living the good life by having financial independence as a result of allocating time and energy towards the endeavors that make me most happy. Thanks to an exposure to cultural arts from an early age and the liberal arts education that I've gained at St. Stephen's, I know that I'm very interested in math, science, design, and photography. I'm creative and I'm also a logical thinker. Developing skills and making a career from things that I am most passionate about is what I believe will lead to my personal definition of the good life. Psychological independence is a much bigger but vital task to master. It's more important to attain personal happiness than any other achievement I can think of. I have a tough time focusing on the good things, and I tend to beat myself up over a lot. This project made me dig deep and think about not just why psychological independence is so important, but how to go about getting it. I will need to adopt a greater amount of willpower and work on strategies to accomplish this important goal. This is partially taken from my essay explaining my plan in becoming psychologically independent. In order to achieve psychological independence, I must first eliminate the negative influences on my life. Achieving emotional and psychological independence is a long process for some. I will need to learn how to exercise greater control over my internal state. Truthfully, my biggest enemy is myself. I have struggled with finding my self-worth. Once I can learn to fully accept myself, I can focus more easily on the tasks I need to accomplish in order to be successful in my future work and life. I must let go of past events that had a negative impact on me in my life, stop denying who I was in the past and who I am now, and instead start making myself into the person that I want to be. I will not let others determine my next move. I will learn to decide for myself. Getting too attached to people's ideas means I will not gain knowledge on my own. I want to be able to see life through others' eyes, but I don't want to live life through others' expectations. I need to take full responsibility for my actions without letting mistakes define who I am. The project instructions also called for the confidence you need in order to create your own unique identity. That struck me because the unique identity part I definitely have. As a matter of fact, I feel a little too unique sometimes. It's the confidence in my uniqueness and having it unapologetically shape my personal identity that begs for development. No matter what, there is always going to be someone judging you. Confidence is eliminating self-negativity so I can tackle any negativity imposed by others. Confidence is knowing that my identity is not shaped by others' ideals. It's listening to my internal voice and knowing that it's more right than anyone else's. The other part of the project was to use part 1 to assist in achieving a sense of balance between economic and psychological development. I see now that the balance is personal, unique, and entails hard but rewarding work on yourself. One of the fundamental components of planning a successful future is being able to use your imagination. Imagining the possibilities of who you want to be in the future and what you would like to accomplish provides guidance in achieving goals. Imagination is your mind's eye. It portrays your true wants and passions. If you know yourself and know the things you care about most, it will guide you on shaping yourself into that person that you wish to be. Living a life directed by circumstances indicates the soul of a slave. Always take action of your circumstances rather than letting the circumstances control you. When it comes down to it, I know that I am the only person who can define me. By following this plan, I can put those beliefs into action. In completing this project and receiving constructive, positive feedback from my teacher, my self-confidence automatically went up. I still have a lot to do on myself. I still have a lot of work to do on myself, but this was a huge improvement considering that this was just one single assignment that allowed me to discover and share things about myself. I have and will strive to use this self-made plan to conquer inevitable challenges throughout the rest of my life. So thank you, Mr. Unelli, for helping me get to know myself through an economics class. Thank you for helping me learn how to embrace everything that makes me unique and realizing that I can have a personal plan for success. You have no idea how much I appreciate your encouragement and drive for me to succeed. I also have a greater appreciation for the laws of supply and demand. Thank you to my beautiful group of friends, you know who you are, who have never failed to make me smile and get me out of a funk on a bad day. You guys have given me strength to always keep pushing forward even when I feel like life is getting the best of me. I love you all so much and wouldn't trade you for anything. Finally, thank you to the most amazing parents in the entire world. I am so extremely lucky to have such supportive and empowering people to guide me through life's journey. Every piece of advice you've offered has truly stuck with me and will encourage me to do well in my future. I honestly should have written this speech about you guys, but no words can ever describe how much you mean to me. My love for you two will never die. Thank you.